very difficult to achieve a realistic looking wound, but that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to demonstrate one of the easiest, most basic ways to emulate a cut using special effects. But special effects have been used in movies for over 120 years. According to mentalfloss.com, the first special effect came in an 1895 Edison film when Alfred Clark recreated the beheading of Mary, Queen of Scots. He had all the actors hold completely still, while, with the exception of the actress playing Mary while he paused the camera. Then Mary was replaced with a dummy before filming started again. And that's this video.
From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
So it looks kind of silly to us now because we're used to CGI and visual effects, but then they thought this was revolutionary. They thought that she actually died for her role, and she obviously didn't. But over the course of a century, special effects have gotten increasingly better, and it is a fairly high-paying occupation. According to Recruiter.com, a makeup artist's theatrical or performance will usually earn a pay level ranging from $40,000 to $60,000 based on experience and talent. And in California, they can make up to $80,000 just because Hollywood movies and stuff. So there are also different types of special effects. The most popular form is visual effects, and Justin Slick from LifeWire.com says, simply put, visual effects is a blanket term referring to any method that makes it possible to create a scene or effect that cannot otherwise be produced with regular photographic techniques. Some examples of movies that use VFX are Gravity, Interstellar, and The Matrix. Practical effects is another type of special effect. Practical effects are not computer generated like visual effects, and they are usually built on set. Practical effects are coming back even though it was once thought of as outdated. And the most popular movie that used practical effects is Jaws. The last type of special effects that I will be mentioning is makeup special effects, otherwise known as prosthetic makeup. And according to wisegeek.com, prosthetic makeup is a type of effects makeup usually used in film, theater, and television. By sculpting enhanced body parts that are based on the wearer's actual body, makeup artists are able to achieve very real, believable results. With correctly applied makeup, a human being can age, grow, change shape, or become a whole different species, all through the skill of the makeup artist. So how do makeup artists make prosthetic makeup look real? Makeup artists that are going to make prosthetics for an actor will make a life cast of the person's face, arm, leg, or other body part. Then they pour the mold into the life cast, and now they can make the prosthetics. They can make prosthetics out of clay, latex, wax, or polyfoam to build up specific features. Then they use a variety of paint and other mediums to give the prosthetics depth and a realistic look. So what you will need to create a realistic looking wound is nose and scar wax. You can get this on Amazon, or I guess you can find it at Party City if you'd like. You'll need Vaseline for the scar wax and smoothing it out. You will also need spatulas. You'll need a powder and powder brush, and fake blood and a small paintbrush. So to start, you'll need to take your nose and scar wax and scrape a small amount onto the spatula and apply it to the area you're working with. And I like to spread a little bit on there first because it's really sticky, but it doesn't like to adhere to skin right away because of the oils in your skin. So you'll just spread that onto the area and then take more and roll it into a log shape. And you want it to be about like an inch in length, or an inch and a half. And you're gonna wanna leave some height to the center as you're smoothing it out. So it'll look like this at first. And then you take another spatula and you can smooth out the edges. And you don't need to buy like spatulas or anything like that. Like I did, you could use like a plastic spoon if you wanted to. You could also use a toothpick to carve it out. But everything that I got was fairly inexpensive. I think altogether it was about $50, about that, to get everything. So after you smoothed it out, you're going to take Vaseline because it looks a little bit rough. And the Vaseline will help smooth it out and so that it won't stick to your fingers anymore. And this will help it blend and look seamless on the skin. You could also use liquid latex if you wanted to build up the cut. And that's what I was going to do originally, but it takes a long time for 6 layers of latex to dry, so I figured I would use the Scar Wax. So you're gonna wanna mattify the area you're working with because it naturally wouldn't look shiny, because the Vaseline adds quite a bit of shine to it. So you just tap some powder on there, and you can find powder anywhere if you just go to the drugstore. Then you're going to take a sharper object, this is kind of like a spear point, and carve a cut. And you can make it as wide as you want to, but you have to be careful and think about the placement because you won't have a 2-inch deep cut on like the top of your thumb that you could on your leg or on your arm or something like that. So you have to pay attention to the area you're working with and how it would naturally look if you were to have a cut there. So I don't know if you could see it very easily, but it kind of looks like that right now. It just looks like an empty cut. So finally what you will do is take your fake blood, and the stuff you could easily make at home. It's just basically corn syrup and food coloring. You could also make your own Scar Wax, but it's a different demonstration for each.
Put it on the newspaper.
Okay. And I can put this on the document camera so you guys can see it better.
Yeah. Do you want to, do you know how to do that? She may know. And then push stop camera. And it's on mute. Is the lamp on? Wow.
Okay, so that's what it will look like when you're done. It's not blended all the way because I wanted to do this quickly so you guys could see it. But if you take your time, you can even add like bruising with a bruise wheel if you wanted to. It could actually look really realistic. And in conclusion, special effects is a very difficult occupation, but it can be a fun hobby if you're willing to get messy in the process. I hope that I showed you a new avenue of makeup and that you learned something interesting, and thank you for listening.